Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vanessa Edeth. We do have a special guest today. This is my daughter, Carolina, and she is here to join us for this video because this video is all about newborn must-haves, things you need. I did make a list. The first few things on my list are once again an obvious few items. Diapers, whether you're going to do cloth diapering or disposable diapers, it's whatever you want to do. I personally brought her diaper bag with us to the hospital when I was in labor, so I just always do that, and I always have diapers in there. So just in case, I'm not 100% sure that every hospital does this. I'm pretty sure, I just don't want to assume, but the hospital will provide you with wipes and diapers for your baby. Obviously when they're first born, they'll put a diaper on them, they'll clean them up, you know, get them all good. So they do have diapers and wipes for you there. They do give you some to take home as well. I don't know if it's just my hospital was very generous. They gave us quite a bit of diapers to take home, and wipes as well. Try and stick to the diapers and wipes that you are given at the hospital. If it works out for your baby, that's good, because every baby's different. Some babies have more sensitive skin than others. I know my daughter has to stick to these specific diapers that she's been wearing, and she's been using the same wipes since she was born. We're a HUGGIES brand. I've always used HUGGIES diapers. I've used HUGGIES wipes as well. She uses the HUGGIES Clean and Natural. Since I was talking about diaper bag, I don't ever get the traditional diaper bag. For me personally, I've always done a backpack. I get my kids the LL Bean backpack, so that way I am a multi-use person. So I'd rather get them a backpack that I use as their diaper bag, and then they can also use in the years to come for school, because LL Bean backpacks are really durable and they're really great quality. So I've done that with my last two kids. She is my third child. She's my youngest child. So I've been through this twice before. I like backpacks. So definitely adventure off. I mean, if you want an actual diaper bag, then that's totally fine. But I mean, I like backpacks. They're more convenient for me, and for the future, for the kids, they can actually use them for school. Baby swing is a very important thing. That's every baby's different thing, but I've always invested in a swing because my kids, it was the only thing that could get my kids to sleep was a baby swing. So definitely look at Walmart. Has some inexpensive ones. Burp cloths, you can get big packs of burp cloths, like I said, at Walmart. TJ Maxx, I think TJ Maxx, Ross, and Marshall's are really good places to find like onesies, burp cloths, bibs, baby blankets, good quality ones you can get. Check out those places before you go on the websites and order these high-end $30 bibs. Like, I kind of feel like that's almost ridiculous. Baby rocker, they have this baby rocker that you can find at Walmart. It's like $20, and it's absolutely freaking amazing. It's the thing that she specifically loves. She loves that you can rock it, and then if you switch the switch on, it actually does a little slight vibrate for her. So she likes the little bit of vibrate sometimes, but then sometimes she doesn't like it, and she likes to just rock it. Bouncing seat. It's like sits kind of lower to the ground, and it's called the Ingenuity automatic bouncer. That thing's a lifesaver. I really don't think that's that expensive. I received that as a gift from my parents. You can always find some secondhand, and you can also find inexpensive baby items at Walmart, which I personally use, and they work fine. Another thing that I would recommend for you guys that you would need for a newborn is pack and plays. Those things are lifesavers. I'm not talking about the $300 mommy Playards that you can get and all that stuff like that. I think is silly, and I would never spend that much money on a pack and play. I have two pack and plays because it's a 2-story house that I live in, so I have one downstairs and I have one upstairs, so that I always have one somewhere in case I have to change your diaper somewhere. I gotta have a place to do it. You can get one for like $50, maybe a little bit more at Walmart. The Walmart ones, the Graco ones, they work fine. A lot of them have, they call the 3-in-1 pack and plays, where you can have a mat that comes up higher. The two that I have actually have like the diaper caddy already in it, like it already comes with it. If you find one for a good deal, with a diaper caddy, I would definitely recommend getting a diaper caddy because you can put diapers, you can put the lotion, you can put the wipes. The ones that I have specifically have slots for wipes, and then the drop down slot for diapers, which is really comes in handy because when you're half asleep, you can't be like fiddling around trying to find a bunch of things. I need powder for her. She loves powder. It works for her. She recently had a rash, and that's the one thing that helps dry the area and keep it from being moist and then getting that rash back. Another thing that I never really heard about, everyone's been recommending like butt paste. A lot of people recommend Desitin. My son had a bad experience with Desitin. It actually burned him. It was not good. Didn't have a good reaction for that, so I never ever use that anymore. Personally, for my kids, I've known that there's a sensitivity of it in my family, so I've always steered clear of that. The one thing that I would recommend for you guys to try out is A+D ointment. It's definitely something you can use for a lot of things, diaper rash, any cut. A+D ointment has always worked for my family, so I recommend getting that. It's really inexpensive. You can find it at drugstores. It's not anything that's too, out there and extravagant, but it works. The hand mittens for newborns specifically because they tend to grab at their face. They could scratch their face. It's happened a couple times. Carolina, love. Yes, it has. So you on mitten parole. She sometimes gets a little rowdy. She's in the point where she's trying to chew on her fingers and everything. So she needs to be on mitten parole and keep her hands away from her face because we love the beautiful face. Yeah. Nail file or a baby nail clipper. Okay. For my boys, I was totally fine. They have these cute little tiny nail clippers for babies. You can find them at Walmart. Once again, most of the stuff you can find is very accessible. Walmart, I do a nail file with her because she is so squirmy that I do not trust using baby clippers. You need to be extremely careful with clippers, any sort of clippers, baby clippers. I would recommend using files, is a lot safer. Carriers, baby carriers, you can do the wraps if you want. I personally am paranoid with wraps, and I'm afraid like something's gonna happen to where it's gonna unwrap and then I'm gonna drop her, and that's like my biggest fear ever. And I can't do the wraps, but I do I think it's called Evenflo carrier. I don't know what's so funny, baby girl. The Evenflo carrier, it's for 7 pounds to 26 pounds. So you can definitely use it for smaller babies. I guess they're considered big babies, but I've always had 8-pound babies. Like, she was my biggest, and she was 8 pounds, 9 ounces, I believe. So, I mean, she was already be able to fit in the carrier. Now, just because it says like 6 pounds or 7 pounds to 26 pounds and she's 8 pounds, like, oh, she should fit in it. Like, you have to definitely put the baby in the carrier and see like where their face is and stuff like that, because you have to worry about them suffocating and not really being able to breathe. That's a big thing. Like, first bringing her home, I mean, like I said, it's my 3rd child, but a lot of certain things don't change. Like, when you first start sleeping with them, you get a bassinet is another thing I would recommend. A bassinet is something you will need. Because you will sit that beside your bed, and that's where she or he will sleep. Yeah. That's where she will sleep beside you, because you'll be panicking any other way. I have to know that she's breathing. I have to know, like, oh my God, like, is her nose stuffy? Do I need to clear out her nose? That brings me to my next point. There is they give you a nose sucker at the hospital. I know that's like a really good description of it, nose sucker. But it's the big blue ball version, and you just squeeze it before you put it in their nose, and then you put it in gently, and then you let it go, and it's supposed to like suck out the stuff. I would definitely recommend getting multiples of those, because just the thought of like reusing those too many times grosses me out. So I would recommend, they're inexpensive, so you can definitely get multiples of them. Now we're talking about certain clothing. Obviously babies are people and they need clothing too, but the specific types of clothing I would recommend for newborns and babies, would have to be zip up PJs. Zip up PJs. I would say avoid buttons at all costs. I hate buttons, and when it's 3 in the morning and you're trying to change a diaper, you're bound to miss a button, and then nothing good comes from that. Zip up PJs and onesies, a crap ton of onesies, t-shirt onesies, the long sleeve onesies. Like when I say onesies, come on baby girl, you gotta show them. I'm talking about the ones that button. The easiest piece of clothing that babies will wear. For girls, I love getting these cute little socks. They make such cute socks. Something that's specifically an accessory that I would really find it handy that I personally love, and you can find at Walmart. It's called a cozy cover, and it's for when it's extremely hot to keep the sun away from them, when it's extremely cold to keep them warm. It's the best thing because it rains where I am a lot, and it's raining and it's cold, and I have to go pick up my other kids as well. So when I have to take her in the carrier, because it's realistically easier to take them in a carrier when it's pouring rain, definitely would recommend investing in one of those. It's not really that expensive. You can find it at Walmart. She personally does not use pacifiers. She doesn't want them, never wanted them. So I just think, you know, I'm not going to introduce it to her because she's never needed it. So we do have them in the house just in case, but she doesn't use them. She doesn't need them. I'm not going to force her to use something she might not need. I must say with the pacifier thing, it's a personal preference for the baby, not us. But at the hospital, some hospitals do automatically give babies pacifiers, so they may grow a want for it by just doing that. You can kindly ask them, hey, is it okay if you don't give my baby a pacifier? You know, you can always do that. It's your baby. They just never did at the hospital. I never asked them specifically. They just never gave her one. So when we took her home, I mean, she self-soothes herself. She is strictly breastfed. I have pumped and we've tried bottles with her. She does take certain bottles. I'll put the name down below with the specific bottle that she likes because some of them she did not like, so I had to get different ones, but I can't remember the name of them right now. But yeah, she's strictly breastfed. I feed her every 3 hours still. I'm actually so excited because this is my third child, so the last two I could only breastfeed up to like 4 months, and then it just was downhill from there. So so far so good. It's a lot better. She's been latching on perfectly fine. I don't need any of the shields or anything. Talking about breast pumps, if you plan to breastfeed, you will need a breast pump. That's kind of pricey. I mean, the minimum is like $100, and that's for manual ones, I believe. But $100 to like $500. Definitely ask your insurance if they cover a breast pump. I did not know that for my last two. So we bought our own and it was a lot of money, and it's a big chunk of money, especially for us. We get one free breast pump and then they offer supplies. They ask you in emails like, you know, do you need extra supplies, extra bags, extra storage bags, extra hoses and shields and stuff like that, because you need to change them out for sanitary purposes and you have to sterilize them after every feeding. So they ask you like, you know, new monthly supply up to a year after your baby's born. So definitely ask your insurances if they cover a breast pump. A bottle dryer that you can hang bottles on. Even though she hasn't used bottles, we still got one because I kind of planned on like eventually she'll be using bottles. And you can get them at Walmart for like $5. It's just like these bunch of little sticks that stick up, and you can just turn the bottles over after you wash them and they dry. You just want to make sure that you have the products dry properly, because that would cause mold and everything in the nipple parts of the bottles. You just have to be careful of that. I am not opposed to throwing a bottle out and buying a new one. Please budget for having to repurchase bottles. Even though you clean them and sterilize them and clean them however you do, I feel like the safest way to assure that the bottle is clean is getting a brand new one. Oh, so people talk about like the shushing machines and the baby music specific things that are like $100 and all this stuff. You honestly don't need it. Things that you will need. If you sing to your baby loves to sing. Do you love when mommy sings to you? You just gotta sing to your baby, hum to your baby. You can shush your baby if you want to. I don't shush them. I don't know. That's just like weird. I like singing, so I sing to her. But you can type in baby music here on YouTube, and there's like a video that I specifically watch, and she loves this. It's like a baby version of Disney songs, and she absolutely loves that. It's the only thing that gets her to sleep besides me singing to her. But when it's 2 in the morning, Mama is singing, she's sleeping. I will link it down below for you guys so you can check out the baby tunes. It's the prettiest music. Baby bathtub. If you don't have a bathtub for your baby bathtubs are a little bit different than regular bathtubs because they have a netting. I know there's other, like this big old flower that you can sit your baby in, and that's like what would keep them safe. But I like the good traditional baby bathtubs. Hand sanitizer is important. You can get it at Walmart, Target, drugstores, wherever you want to get. Whatever sanitizer you want, get it. Before you feed, before you change them, before you touch them, you know, sanitizer. Not like obsessively where like, oh my gosh, I held her and put her down for a second and I need to wash my hands again. I mean, you can if you want. But especially after changing and stuff like that, just trying to keep things clean. Breastfeeding pillow. I still want a breastfeeding pillow, but it's like $40 and I feel like kind of stupid to want a pillow for $40. But I do like the roundness of the pillow is very helpful with breastfeeding. Once again, I personally don't have one. I use regular pillows. So I just kind of prop her up where I want her on a pillow. Not proper, but like I hold her and like feed her. So you can use a regular pillow. But definitely if you have the means to buy a breastfeeding pillow, I would definitely set the funds aside for that. It's definitely a necessity for a newborn. Is prenatal vitamins. There's all sorts of different supplements for breastfeeding, but I keep taking my prenatals. I take the 1-a-day women's prenatal. I've always taken that with all 3 of my pregnancies. I haven't had an issue with any of my kids. Teething wise, you can buy them teething toys. You can use Oragel. I've used the numbing Oragel until they took it off the shelves because all of a sudden it's not good for your babies anymore. They have cooling gel, which doesn't really work for her. But what I suggest is a washcloth with a washcloth, dampen it, put it in the freezer, and then you take it out and let them chew on it, and you know, it's just water on a washcloth. It's frozen, but the coolness helps their gums and makes them feel awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I want to be as realistic as possible because I don't have all the money in the world, and a lot of these things have been given to me. My mom and my parents helped me out a lot with getting her like seats. I have seats, like something baby gadget wise, in every room of my house, because with a baby you just want to have something everywhere. Unless you want to just carry around things throughout the house, go ahead and do it, because a lot of these things are small and portable and you can do that without stressing yourself too much. But if you can afford to get a bouncy seat, a rocky seat, so I can put it in like a little bit all over the house, then I would recommend doing that. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. It will help me out greatly. And subscribe to my channel for more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye guys!